You're not ready for this. This isn't a basic glow-up guide. This is the blueprint of transformation built from over 60 elite scientific studies that people literally pay to access. Every level in this video rewires how you look, move, and glow permanently. Our first point is simple but powerful. Health equals glow. If you want to reach to your highest potential, you first have to become your healthiest self. Because no matter how much you invest in skincare or style, nothing will shine if your body isn't thriving from the inside. Think about it. If you're constantly eating processed foods, consuming alcohol, or overdoing dairy, you're silently holding yourself back. These habits dull your skin, slow your energy, and block your natural glow. Your body is always reacting to the choices you make. Every bite, every habit, every late-night scroll, it's all shaping how you look and feel. The truth is, your body can either glow up or break down, and that depends entirely on the small daily choices you make. So the first real step to a glow up isn't adding more, it's stopping what's making you unhealthy. Because glowing isn't just about looking better, it's about functioning better, thinking clearer, and feeling stronger. But a healthy body can also make you look bloated or heavy if you don't focus on the second principle fundamental of the first section, and that is fat equals key. Your body fat percentage not only has one of the biggest impacts on the attractiveness of your body, but also your face. You could have a perfect facial structure, but it won't matter if it's covered with excess fat. Even small changes in facial fat, especially around the jaw and cheeks, can significantly shift how attractive a face is perceived. So, getting lean in a healthy and sustainable way is one of the most effective things you can do to glow up. Okay, now that we have set up the foundation, let's move on to our level 2, which is all about small changes that require minimal effort but drastically affect your looks. Let's begin with the most underrated one. Every single attractive person across all ethnic backgrounds, age groups, and genders usually has one thing in common: great jaw forward projection. That means their face developed forward rather than backward. And one of the biggest factors that influence this is how you breathe. Studies show that persistent mouth breathing pushes the face to grow downward and inward, leading to a longer face, recessed chin. On the other hand, nose breathing naturally supports proper tongue posture and forward growth. It also keeps the muscles in your face engaged and improves oxygen flow, which, by the way, is the reason why you see so many people wearing nasal strips. So start breathing correctly, and over time it will have a huge impact on how you look and feel. But of course, not every change takes years to show results. Some improvements are instant, like changing your hair. Your hair can change your entire vibe, and choosing the wrong haircut can result in your face appearing rounder, longer, or even less defined. So the key is to choose a haircut that actually suits your face shape and hair texture. For example, if you have a square face, your jawline is sharp, strong, unapologetic, but sometimes it can feel too harsh. The secret? Soften it. Go for layers, soft waves, or side-swept bangs. These create movement, soften the edges, and bring focus to your eyes instead of your jaw. Avoid blunt, boxy cuts. They only emphasize the angles. For a long or narrow face, your challenge is proportion. You want to create width where it matters. Think voluminous waves, layers around the cheeks, curtain bangs, anything that adds dimension and breaks the length. Straight, heavy styles? They only make your face look longer, thinner, more drawn out. You want balance. If your face is round, the goal is subtle elongation. Layers that start below the chin, cuts with volume at the crown, or angular edges can sculpt your face into a more oval, elegant shape. Avoid blunt ends that stop at the jawline. They literally emphasize the roundness instead of disguising it. Now, for those with a larger forehead, it's all about visual balance. Side-swept or curtain bangs are your best friend. Layers starting at the crown, soft textures, and styles that don't pull hair straight back all help draw attention away from the top of the face and create harmony. Avoid exposing the entire forehead. It throws the proportions off instantly. So try to choose the right haircut for your face and not just what's currently trending on social media. But style alone isn't enough. Your scalp and hair health matter just as much. Thick, healthy, and shiny hair signals health, while dry or thinning hair signals the opposite. That's why scalp care is a non-negotiable part of your glow-up. First of all, get rid of the 3-in-1 shampoo. They often contain surfactants and lack targeted ingredients, which means they strip away your natural oils without properly conditioning or protecting the hair. So instead, get a shampoo that is made for your specific hair type, and use it just 1 to 2 times per week because overwashing will strip away your hair's natural oils, resulting in a vicious cycle. The more you wash, the more oil your scalp produces to compensate, which makes your hair get greasy even faster, resulting in you needing to wash your hair more and more often. After using your shampoo to open hair cuticles to clean them, you need something that closes and smooths them afterward. And that's the job of a conditioner. But just like with shampoo, don't overdo it. Apply your conditioner to the lengths and ends of your hair and not the scalp, as too much at the roots can clog follicles and weigh your hair down. And once you're out of the shower, avoid aggressive towel drying. Wet hair is fragile, and rubbing causes breakage and frizz. Instead, just gently squeeze out the water and let it air dry instead of using a hairdryer. It might not seem like much, but these small changes will add up. Okay, let's move on. Once you fix your hair, it's time to focus on something even more fundamental. In level 1, we already talked about the importance of having a healthy body fat percentage, but being lean alone isn't quite enough. Research consistently shows that athletic, well-proportioned bodies are rated as the most attractive, not because of extreme muscle, but because of the perfect balance of low body fat and visible, toned musculature. This combination signals health, vitality, confidence, and effortless appeal. An athletic physique doesn't just transform your body. It changes how your clothes fit, how you carry yourself, and even how others perceive and respond to you. And no, you don't need to become a bodybuilder. To truly glow up, building a solid athletic foundation should be a non-negotiable part of your long-term plan. Now, even if you train consistently and take care of your appearance, you might still look tired, dull, or unhealthy, and not know why. That's often because of something people don't talk about much, and that is nutrient deficiencies. Most of us are vitamin D deficient, which can result in pale, tired-looking skin and more pronounced dark circles. Magnesium deficiency, on the other hand, causes muscle weakness, skin inflammation, and premature aging. That's why getting your blood test done is one of the smartest moves you can make, because no skincare product or technique will work if you don't know what your body is missing. Fix the inside first, so the outside can follow. Speaking of the outside, let's talk about something that might sound basic, but most people still get wrong. You need the correct hygiene routine. Poor hygiene ruins even the best genetics, but that doesn't mean you need an expensive 10-step routine. The skincare industry tries to exploit your insecurities by selling you overpriced products you simply don't need. But in reality, you only need a few essentials to get 95% of the results. Start with identifying your exact skin type, and get a cleanser, moisturizer, and sunscreen that are specifically formulated for it. The cleanser removes oil, dirt, and buildup. The moisturizer keeps your skin hydrated, protected, and smooth. And sunscreen protects you from UV radiation, which is the #1 cause of premature aging. UV radiation breaks down collagen, which causes wrinkles, hollow eye bags, and dull skin. It can take years until the damage becomes visible. The delay creates a huge disconnect between action and consequence. That's why so many people just ignore it. But sunscreen is not optional. It's the #1 tool to prevent your skin from aging. In level 1, we built the foundation. In level 2, we focused on the basics. Now let's move on to level 3, where we take it one step further by focusing on the very specific techniques that require a bit more time and effort, but can improve your attractiveness immensely. As you probably know, one of the first things people notice about you are your eyes. But most don't realize just how big of an impact your eyebrows have. They shape your entire eye area, and even small changes can completely change how balanced or intense your face looks. And that's not just an opinion. Studies show that thicker and darker eyebrows are consistently rated as more attractive. So how can we improve the thickness of our eyebrows naturally? One of the most effective methods to stimulate eyebrow growth is microneedling. Microneedling works by creating micro-injuries in the skin. This triggers a controlled wound healing response. As a result, dormant hair follicles can be reactivated. But it also has one more crucial benefit: improving the absorption of topical products like rosemary oil. Rosemary oil improves the vascularity and circulation, and additionally enhances the regeneration of hair follicles. But you also need to shape them properly. Eyebrows are one of the few features where you have full control over symmetry. If your eyes are slightly asymmetrical, you can shape your brows in a way that balances out the difference. You can also use trimming to influence how close or far apart your eyes appear. You can trim the inner ends to create more space, or let your brows grow more inward to bring your features closer together. Okay, now that you've fixed your brows, let's talk about the eyes themselves. Many people assume that eye color is what makes eyes attractive, but research shows that's not the case, because beautiful eyes are all about contrast, not the color of the iris. A recent study found that scleral contrast, that's the brightness of the white part of your eyes compared to the iris, is a much stronger predictor of perceived beauty than eye color. That means if your eyes are dull, yellowish, or irritated, they will look tired no matter what color they are. To improve scleral whiteness, you need to reduce inflammation in the body, which means no smoking, low sugar, omega-3s, and vitamin A. Additionally, a lot of professional models also use eye drops to hydrate and whiten their eyes before their shoots. This is one of the most overlooked ways to make your eyes look fresher, whiter, and more attractive. But there's one more thing that can completely destroy even the most perfect eye area. I'm talking about under-eye bags and dark circles. Multiple studies have shown that under-eye bags make you appear more tired, less healthy, and even less trustworthy. It's one of the strongest negative cues in facial perception, and often the first thing people notice in a face-to-face interaction. We won't go into full detail here because it would take another whole video to go into every detail, and if we do that here, the video will be too long. So I'll try to make a dedicated video on this topic where we'll talk about causes, treatments, and proven solutions. But here are some basics we can discuss for now. Start by focusing on your sleep. Poor sleep quality is one of the most common causes of puffiness and discoloration. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of consistent, high-quality sleep. Elevate your head slightly while sleeping to prevent fluid from pooling under your eyes. Secondly, hydration. Dehydration exaggerates darkness and hollowness under the eyes. Drink enough water throughout the day and include hydrating foods like cucumber, watermelon, and oranges. Third, reduce salt intake. Excess sodium causes water retention, which leads to puffiness under the eyes. Cold compresses or chilled spoons can also help shrink blood vessels and temporarily reduce swelling. When it comes to skincare, look for eye creams with caffeine, retinol, niacinamide, or peptides. Caffeine constricts blood vessels to reduce puffiness. Retinol thickens the skin and boosts collagen. Niacinamide brightens, and peptides support elasticity. And most importantly, protect your under-eye area with sunscreen daily. UV damage is one of the biggest causes of premature aging and pigmentation around the eyes. Now that's it for the eye area. Now it's time to move a little further down. And once again, it's all about contrast. Healthy lips naturally create contrast to your skin and teeth, making them stand out. Dry, flaky, or greasy lips, on the other hand, instantly signal poor hydration, low self-care, and even feel off-putting to others. What matters most isn't the size or shape, but texture, hydration, and color balance. So to keep your lips in top condition, you can use Vaseline or lip balm. A highly underrated tip is using one that contains SPF because lips don't produce melanin, so they're highly vulnerable to sun damage, which over time can lead to discoloration, dryness, and even volume loss. And please resist the urge to lick your lips to moisturize them. It might feel good for a second, but it actually makes things worse. Saliva contains digestive enzymes, leading to the breakdown of the protective barrier with subsequent reduction of moisture and increased vulnerability to irritants. In short, lip licking dries out your lips even more, so please break that habit. Now that you have perfect lips, but none of that matters if your teeth behind them are unattractive. People with whiter teeth are consistently rated as more attractive because they signal strong immunity and a low risk of disease, infection, or decay. So what can you do? Start with the basics. Avoid staining drinks like coffee, black tea, and red wine, or use a straw. Brush twice a day, floss, and rinse with a non-alcoholic mouthwash. Additionally, I also recommend starting to use a tongue scraper every morning because a major component of bad breath is due to bacteria coating the tongue, and brushing or rinsing alone doesn't remove it effectively, but a tongue scraper can, which will make your breath noticeably fresher. Okay, for the last part of level 3, let's not talk about something people see. Let's talk about something they remember, your smell. People rank how the other person smells as the most important physical trait. But that doesn't mean you have to buy the most expensive designer fragrances. The key is to find a scent that fits you, a fragrance you enjoy wearing. But before any fragrance comes into play, let's be clear. The foundation of smelling good is how you shower. You need something that cleans without overwhelming your skin. The optimal choice is a high-quality, mild, and neutral body wash. And please avoid typical 3-in-1 sport gels. They are harsh, overly perfumed, and often clash with your actual fragrance. Also, wash properly, not just with your hands. Use a soft sponge or washcloth to remove sweat, bacteria, and buildup. And once you've got that base, you can layer your fragrance. But remember, less is more. Don't overspray. Your fragrance should complement your presence, not replace it. Okay, that's for level 3. But before we head into level 4, where things get really interesting, I want to say something. I know this is a lot of information compressed into one video, and most people stop here. They consume content but never take the next step. So, if you're actually serious about all this and want all the exact plans, guides, and steps all in one place, you just simply have to subscribe to my channel. Okay, so let's finally move to level 4, where the techniques get more advanced and technical. Let's start this level off with something that can give you instant results: proper debloating. Most people don't realize how much excess water retention can affect their appearance, especially in the face. A less bloated face means sharper contours, more visible jawlines, and better definition. One of the easiest ways to reduce puffiness is cold exposure. Applying ice or a cold spoon in the morning constricts blood vessels and tightens the skin, which can make your face appear significantly more defined within minutes. Another method is lymphatic drainage using gua sha or a facial massage tool. Researchers found that both interventions effectively improve facial contours through distinct physiological mechanisms: gua sha through changes in muscle properties, and facial rollers through enhanced skin elasticity. Done correctly, this reduces puffiness, defines the jawline, and improves overall skin tone. But while topical methods help, bloating is often caused from the inside. Most people consume way too much salt because it's added to nearly every processed food. But at the same time, they get far too little potassium. The imbalance shifts the fluid balance in your cells, making your face look puffy. Ideally, your potassium to sodium ratio should be around 2.1. You can increase your potassium intake through foods like banana, salmon, fruits, avocado, nuts, and coconut water. But reducing bloating isn't just about what you eat. It's also about how you eat. Most people never think about it, but chewing plays a much bigger role in facial appearance than you would expect. If you primarily move your food with your cheeks instead of your tongue, you're placing stress on the buccal muscles. And when you do this every single day, those muscles start to grow and thicken, which can lead to a puffier, more bloated-looking face. So use your tongue to position your food instead of your cheeks. But proper chewing isn't just about avoiding bloated cheeks. It's also a chance to engage the right muscles like the masseter. The masseter is the primary muscle responsible for chewing, and it plays a major role in how your jawline appears. A well-developed masseter muscle, the one used for chewing, is often linked to a stronger, more defined jaw and a balanced lower face. Features commonly linked to higher attractiveness. But that doesn't mean you should start overtraining it. You don't need overpriced jaw trainers or influencer chewing gums. Those are just a money grab and can make things even worse by potentially leading to TMJ and asymmetries. It's enough to include hard foods in your diet. Also, make sure you're not always chewing on the same side. Over time, it can lead to visible asymmetries because the masseters and buccal muscles on one side become more developed than the other. So if you always chew on one side, try switching it up. But there's also another muscle group that can drastically affect your appearance. And it's something you rarely see someone train at the gym. Take a look at these pictures. They're absolutely identical except for one thing: the neck. The version that has a longer, balanced neck looks more feminine and proportionate. And it's not just an opinion, it's proved by science. So how can we make our necks look longer, softer, and more defined? Just like any other muscle, posture and mobility training is the answer. But be careful, the neck isn't like the rest of your body. It's much more sensitive. Here's what actually builds that feminine neck, backed by science. Let's be honest, most of us have that slightly forward head posture from staring at our phones all day. It shortens your neck, ruins your posture, and totally takes away that elegant silhouette. But don't worry, fixing it isn't as hard as it sounds. Start with chin tucks. They help strengthen the deep neck muscles, basically your natural neck corset. Then do wall alignment drills. They train your posture and shoulder positioning. And don't skip scapular retraction. It opens up your upper back, which instantly makes your neck look longer and more graceful. A stiff neck doesn't just feel bad, it shows. Neck mobility work helps release tension, improve posture, and give that graceful ballerina neck vibe. Try doing neck mobility circles. Slow, gentle, small range movements. We're not doing exorcist spins here. Then lateral stretches side to side, never forcing it. Finish with thoracic extensions. It opens your chest and naturally lifts your head posture. 3. Jawline and under chin toning. This one's subtle but powerful. You're basically waking up the muscles that frame your lower face and neck. Try tongue to roof presses. Press your tongue up for 5-10 seconds. You'll feel it under your chin. Then the platysma move. Say E and hold it to tighten your neck area. 4. Neck and collarbone tone. You don't need to build a neck. You just need to tone it lightly so everything looks defined and lifted. Do slow shoulder rolls to release stiffness. Add light resistance band pulls. at a low angle. Focus on smooth, controlled motions and try Pilates-style neck lifts. Lying down, slightly raise your head and hold. It's small but so effective. 5. Bonus. Daily habits that shape your silhouette. Your daily habits matter more than you think. Keep your phone at eye level. Your neck will thank you. Sleep with a low pillow. It prevents compression. Stay hydrated and care for your skin. Smoothness enhances definition. Okay, now we've completed the first 4 levels of the video and made it to level 5, which is the final 5% of potential improvement. Improvement that is not naturally achievable. But please, if you've ever even briefly considered cosmetic procedures, listen to me for just 1 minute. I fully understand the desire. Sometimes there's a feature you've been insecure about for years, and changing it might genuinely improve your self-image. That's valid. But here's the problem. It's very easy to hyperfixate on one specific trait and convince yourself that fixing that one thing will solve all your insecurities. But it's almost never the case. If you're unhealthy, with bad hair, bad skin, and a bloated face, a jaw implant or rhinoplasty won't magically make you attractive. In fact, it might even make things worse. Surgery should only be considered once you've optimized every other level in this video, but never as a shortcut and never as a solution to insecurity. Because no procedure replaces the power of long-term effort, health, and self-care. The real transformation starts with the things you control every single day, not at your doctor's office. Take care. Bye.